Since 2009, I've helped over 5,000 people get off their butts to start successful online businesses. And over the years, I've uncovered the truth about why some entrepreneurs succeed while others crash and burn. And today, I'm going to share these insights with you. This video will teach you how you can get ahead of 99% of people in just 6 to 12 months. Now, first off, probably the most important step of the process is that you have to become brutally aware of what you want and don't want. So just take some time and observe the 99% of people around you and make a mental note of what happens when you don't take action. Most people in the world don't have a plan and they just go with the flow. They accept their current lives as their reality and that's it. They're done. Most people that I've met throughout my life are closed-minded and aren't willing to upset the status quo, especially when their lives are relatively easy. Take the typical John or Jane Doe. When you have a steady job that pays you enough to put food on the table and maybe go on a vacation every year, why rock the boat? You make enough to survive, right? Why risk it? Now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that living life this way is bad per se, but I'm a big proponent of having a long-term vision for your future. And the most successful students who I've helped in my class usually have a big negative in their life that they want to fix. Something that they despise. Something that gets them so angry that they force themselves to take action. Now, when my wife and I started our 7-figure e-commerce store over at bumblebeelinens.com, we did so because my wife hated her job and desperately wanted to spend all of her time with our newborn child. I still remember to this day having breakfast with her in the morning and her giving me this sad, long face as she left for work. Honey, I'm off to the hellhole I call my job now. So we channeled that negative energy and that anger into something we wanted to achieve in life, quitting her job. Now everyone knows that starting a business from scratch is hard, especially when you don't have any experience, which we did not. But whenever the going got tough, we just thought about what our lives would be like without a successful business. We thought about what it would be like to sludge our way through life in an office 50 hours a week while a total stranger raised our child. Now being pissed off is actually a good thing. Negative thoughts should not be suppressed and instead used for good. So sit down and figure out what you want your future to be like, but start with the bad and write down everything that you hate in your current life. What do you not want your future to be? What do you not want your day to look like on an everyday basis? And from that, it's going to be much clearer to you how you want your future to be. Now, many people who I've taught in the past don't possess this type of negative energy to fuel themselves forward, and that's a big problem. For example, one time I had an electrical engineer from Silicon Valley sign up for my class, and he was making about $300,000 per year, had a house, a wife, and a child, and just wanted to quit his job. But his life was just so cushy that he never really committed to starting his business. He was already getting paid a decent salary, so why rock the boat? He didn't really love his job that much, and he wanted to retire, but his situation wasn't bad enough to drive him to take action. Now, once you discover the negative vision in your life, you should feel a little uneasy. You should feel uncomfortable with the possibility of where you could end up in life if you don't take control and do something about it. And with that discomfort, you should harness that energy and channel it towards a plan. Otherwise, if you do not create a plan, everything will just descend into chaos. As my chemistry teacher always used to tell me, by default, everything in life goes towards higher entropy, lower energy. So step 1 is to create a plan. Create a strategy for exactly what you're going to work on a day-to-day basis, week by week, as far as you can foresee. Write out every single thing you're going to do for the next month and be specific. Create a plan and fight entropy. By the way, if you're interested in learning how to start your own online store, make sure you sign up for my free 6-day e-commerce mini course below to help you formulate your plan. But once you have a plan, you need to become a hermit and cut out all the distractions. And by becoming a hermit, I mean that you should literally disappear. Cut out everything in your life that will not lead to your end goal. This can be people, TikTok, YouTube, games, apps, going out drinking with your friends, whatever it takes. You need to be aware of the activities or people that are holding you back. For example, when my wife and I first started our e-commerce store, we basically stopped watching TV and going out with our friends on weekends. Now, one of my favorite activities back in the day was going to the movie theater with friends. Well, guess what? I stopped going to the movies. I used to love playing this game called Age of Empires. I stopped playing it cold turkey. Now this might seem drastic to 99% of people watching this video, but remember, we're trying to become part of the 1% here. And the best way I know how to do that is to just rip the Band-Aid off. Your good friends will understand your absence, and the ones who don't, they weren't good friends to begin with. What you need to do is ruthlessly break your addiction to activities that won't move you forward. Now, you're going to feel like crap at times, especially when your friends try to peer pressure you into coming out to play, but this is what the detox process is all about. All that mental energy that you were spending on drinking, playing games, and watching Netflix aren't going to take you to the next level. So direct all of your mental energy towards your primary goal because you need to focus. Now, my friends always make fun of me for doing this, but whenever I have to get something done, like create this YouTube video as an example, I will lock myself in a pitch black room with only a single light shining on my keyboard. I don't check my phone, I don't check email, I don't do anything else other than the task at hand. My kids know that when I'm in this state to not knock on my door except in an emergency. Here's the other thing that you need to know in order to crack the top 1%. You need to realize that information always takes time to sink into your brain and that it's perfectly normal to not know the answer or solution right away. So never ever give up at the first obstacle. Almost every student I've ever had in my course grossly overestimates what they can accomplish in their first 6 months. Stuff just takes time to learn. You cannot brute force your way to a successful business on just determination alone. You have to learn the fundamentals, and it's going to be a grind. Now, most people find this part boring because from the outside, like on Instagram, it looks like successful people just woke up one day and decided to be successful. And that's not how it works. The truth is that most successful people do the same boring crap every single day. Here's a sneak peek into my glamorous life as an entrepreneur. Sunday morning, I write up scripts for my YouTube, blog posts, and whatever content that needs to be created for the week. On Monday, I film and publish my content. On Tuesday, I prepare my lectures for my course. On Wednesday, I go live for my class. On Thursday, I work solely on my e-commerce business. And on Fridays, I think about how to make my businesses better. And I've done the exact same thing for over a decade now. The same boring routine over and over again. Any of you ever played Dungeons & Dragons or any role-playing game before? In these games, you basically kill the same monsters, go through the same dungeons, and gradually level up your character over time. It is the exact same thing with business and life. You do the same crap over and over again and get better at it over time. These are the fundamentals, the foundations for success. Surface level tips and strategies won't get you there. For example, if you were to watch a time-lapse video of my day-to-day, you'd be bored out of your mind. But if you were to watch my very first YouTube video compared to my videos today, you'd see a huge difference in quality. It took me years to master e-commerce. It took me years to get my videos and content to where it is today. Stuff just takes time. So temper your expectations. As one of my mentors once told me, you often overestimate what you can accomplish in a year, but underestimate what you can do in 5 years or more. The only way to accelerate this process is to focus your mental energy, and this is why becoming a hermit is a necessary first step. Now, probably the number one question I get asked about running an e-commerce business is, Steve, when am I going to start making money? How long is it going to take? And no one is ever satisfied with my answer because I can't possibly provide you with a number. And even if I did give you a definite number, it would probably throw you off track. For example, if I said that you would become a millionaire after 6 months, well, guess what? After 6 months, when you are not a millionaire, you're going to give up altogether. Things just don't work that way. Now, I don't say this to be mean, and I fall into this trap all the time myself. Right now, I'm taking tennis lessons, and I remember asking my coach once in frustration, how many lessons am I going to have to take until I can start entering a tournament? Now, to answer all these types of questions is that it will take you years. It takes an entire lifetime of trial and error to get good at anything. So basically, it's going to take forever. That's right, forever. So just get comfortable with that thought. I never start any business without the intention of sticking with it for at least 3 to 5 years. But in the back of my mind, I tell myself that I'm going to do this forever, and this is what keeps me going. Prioritizing long-term success is the origin story of every successful person I know. Now, if you have some money lying around and you want to speed up the process, the best way is to take a course or hire a consultant to help you. But don't hire them to do the work for you. Instead, hire them to help you do the work yourself. This way, you'll gain at least the necessary high-level knowledge to run your business. Do not blindly hire out anything. Because if you hire someone to do the work for you and you don't understand the fundamentals of what you're outsourcing, I can almost guarantee that you will get ripped off. But overall, this is what it's going to take for you to beat out everyone else. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree? I'm curious to hear your thoughts in the comments below. But now that you understand what it takes, make sure you watch this video here on how to channel that focused energy to create a successful online business.